have here Karen Chung, who has been helping Finnish companies to enter the Chinese markets in the last 8 years. Her focus has always been in the Finnish-Chinese business and the market entries. She's also a lawyer with a focus on the Hong Kong and China tax laws. And 80% of her work is to help Finnish companies to enter China or to the Greater Asia. So, Karen, you have been working with plenty of Finnish companies in the Chinese market. What are the most significant general level changes and trends in the Chinese market that Finnish companies should take account of when entering to China right now?
Sure. Basically, I think right now, what is really different than 5 years ago for Finnish companies entering China is that the change of the laws. The laws has changed quite significantly since, let's say, the 1996. And that basically there is more same level playing field for domestic and foreign companies. And so with that in mind, that Finnish companies entering China, let's say 10 years ago, they don't really have to care about anything. They can do anything and think that they can go the back way. But actually it's now changed for everyone. And then they actually have to know the law in order to know how to react to the law, to create that kind of a legal and business certainty for themselves when they're doing business in China.
So practically you have to have somebody who knows about the changes and knows about the legislation.
Yes.
So that there are lots of foreign companies in the Chinese market and lots of success stories in the market. What is the common denominator? Why the success has been achieved?
Sure. Yeah, that's a very important question. I think the first thing that the most common denominator is that you have identified demands or identified clients, because without that there's no sense of you going to China at all. There must be some money incentive. And the second thing is that there will be, the local partners, so identify local partners, because China is still a very controlled business environment. Without some local help, it's really difficult. So these two are the most common denominators that I see for companies who are actually now very successful in China. They have the clients, local clients, and also they have local partners who can help them when they're far away from home.
How afraid they should be about copying the ideas and solutions?
Speaking as a lawyer, my point will be very skeptical. So I will be very afraid, so that with that attitude, you will do a lot of preemptive approach. You register, you prevent, then think what to do later. There is still a lot of copying of high technology, simply because your European countries have really good technologies and the Chinese can't do it themselves. So the best way to do it is to copy. So in that sense, yes, there's still a lot of copying, but I think if foreign companies do their job, do a bit of due diligence and do their part to register and have a protection strategy, I think it's a no problem.
So prepare well.
Prepare well, always.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the special characteristics that should be taken into account when entering the Chinese market? Special
characteristic. I think the most important thing that we should always remember is a big market. And then when you go there to anywhere, it doesn't have to be China, an unfamiliar market, is that you have to be prepared, because you need to know what is that market characteristic. And there's a saying in China that everything is possible, and so is there a saying that everything is impossible in China. So, but the thing interesting about China is that there's always this one sentence by the Chinese government: everything is with a Chinese characteristic. So you need to learn what that is to adjust your business approach to be more Chinese friendly. Let it be the product appearance or the way you sell it, so that if you're able to understand the Chinese characteristic, I think you will be able to enter the market without much hassle or complication. Yes.
And what are the most efficient practices when entering to China?
I think the most efficient practice a lot of companies, Finnish companies, are actually doing is actually be well prepared and do a lot of research. Know your clients, who they are, what are the needs, and also know your local partners, and also know your local staff very well. Because a lot of times it's not external factors that makes your business go bad. It could be also internal factors. And you need to understand how to work with these people locally. Because at the end of the day, you're sitting back in Finland. It is the local staff who helps you to run the operation. So that are the very important thing and efficient practice to have a good business in China is to do your research, be prepared, and know the people.
So practically it means that it's case by case.
Yes, always.
You can't buy one market study or...
No, there's no one size fit all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you could give one good advice to the Finnish company who is willing to the Chinese market, what would it be?
Be very open-minded because Finnish are very good at engineering, they're good at research, they're coming out with all this very advanced technology. But a lot of times they run into the wall in China because they said, oh, this is how you should do by the rule of law. In Finland, in Europe, it's done like this. But in China, it's not like that. So it's not saying that you should go to the back door, but I believe in having a very open-minded and willing to see it from the other angle. That always helps. Because it's not that they're saying no to you or they're not willing to work, but it's just that they want to see it differently from their approach. So being open-minded would very, very important for China market entry because it's really another side of the world and we think with a different part of our brain, I think.
Wise words.